Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cinema Rogues. I'm your host, Andrew, and with me today, as always, is co-host and regular host every other episode, Guy.
Hey, it's me.
Yeah, Guy's here. So, thanks everyone for listening. Again, go check out our other shows. I do Board Game Barbarians if you like board games or D&D or anything tabletop-y. I do have a show that comes out once a month. And you can go listen to that. You can also go watch Sidetail Studios stuff. That's what Guy does. So you can go on YouTube and look for Sidetail Studios. That's Scytale. I don't think we ever actually spell it out. I think we
I guess not.
I think we just assume that people that are listening to this show also are in the Discord and see it spelled. So
Well, and there's only so many ways to spell Sidetail, and eventually you'll find it.
I think I would do it like psychology. Like I would...
PSY?
Yeah, I think that's how I would try it. That would be my first try. Or like just SY or... Yeah.
Well, I get a lot of people that are like, well, isn't it like Skytail? And I'm like, well, okay, you know what? It can be pronounced that way, but it's not a sky.
It's a C.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, also go check out Retro Warriors if you don't know what that is and are somehow finding the show randomly on a Patreon. That's cool.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Or if you do listen to it, then keep listening away. Guy, what have you been up to this last 2 to 3 weeks?
A lot. I don't know. Okay, so I watched all of The Mandalorian, I think, since the last time we recorded. Well, all season 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. Has it been 10 weeks since we recorded? It feels like it.
Has it? I don't think it has. I don't know though. So
or however many episodes Mandalorian had.
Yeah, I don't.
Did you watch the season finale?
Yep, watched all of it. It was great, and I enjoy it, and looking forward to stuff that I don't know if we want to mention without.
Right.
Because it only came out this last Friday, so I don't want to. Well, I guess by the time this show's release, it's going to be like 2 or 3 weeks. So
probably something like that.
We'll just deal with it.
Other than that, I watched Annabelle Creation. We tried to watch Annabelle the other day, and realized, well, my girlfriend was like, "No, we've seen this." I was like, "No, we haven't." So we started watching it, and then about 10 minutes into it, I was like, "Wait, I kind of remember this conversation." Okay, fine, we saw it. You were right. My bad. So it turns out she was right about it. And I don't know. It's Annabelle Creation's a movie. It's got Anthony LaPaglia in it.
I think I've heard that it's a movie. Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty interesting. I don't know. If you like that sort of genre of horror movie that is currently popular, which is, like The Conjuring and not The Happening. That's that Mark Wahlberg tree movie.
I thought The Conjuring was pretty like spooky scary the first time I saw it. I didn't like. I'm not a huge like horror person. Like supernatural stuff. Whenever it's like done, all jump scary and stuff is pretty scary for me. But the Nun, that movie was not good.
No,
real bad.
Yeah,
not scary.
We've been working our way through like the Insidious line of movies and the Conjuring line of movies. Yeah, and so we're into Annabelle's now. But anyway.
Well, there's new ones coming out, I hear, so you got more to look forward to.
Yay! And then in preparation for Wonder Woman 1984 coming out, we watched Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Wonder Woman.
Maybe we'll do that this year. Not this year, this week. I don't know about Man of Steel. That one's kind of a little rough to get through.
Dude, I don't know. Have you seen it in a while? Like, I know that you are a general DC fan, but...
Yeah, I mean, I thought Man of Steel was okay. I thought it was really slow, though.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't watch any of the other ones? You didn't watch Justice League or Aquaman?
Aquaman I still haven't seen yet, and it's not on HBO Max anymore. It went off in November.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, and then Justice League, I don't really want to watch Justice League again until the new cut comes out, and it didn't seem like it was going to be super important to the Wonder Woman 1984 story.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know. The trailer for the new or for the recut looks real good.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed Man of Steel more than I did the first couple of times I watched it. It's probably been about 5 or 6 years, I would say, since I watched it. And going back after seeing Henry Cavill in other things made it better.
Yeah, maybe I'll give it a watch.
What about you? What have you been doing?
I've been doing Mandalorian season 2, like we kind of mentioned. I've also been just watching a bunch of Christmas movies. We did Gremlins, Home Alone, Santa Claus. What else? Did Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. We did the Christmas Carol movie that came out 2 years ago with Guy Pearce.
Oh, is that any good?
That's on Hulu. It was not.
Okay.
It was. I don't like. They made some choices. So for one, it's 2.5 hours long, which is like the longest Christmas Carol that I've ever watched in my life. And for two, they made some like choices that justify why Scrooge is a huge piece of shit. Which I feel like is not the point of the Christmas. Like, they're like, this is why he's a huge piece of shit, and this is why he justifies it, but he still changes in the end because it's better to be a nice person, is kind of like what I took away from it.
Right.
And I was like, I don't think the point of it was to be like, Scrooge was raped as a child, and that's why he's an asshole. Like, I don't know. It was slow, and it was like kind of painful to watch in the sense that it was just like looking at my clock the entire time, like when's it over?
Right.
Anyway,
hey,
so,
you know what? We're gonna come back to that theme later.
Yeah. When's it over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
And I watched a couple other Christmas movies like Die Hard, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I watched Home Alone and I don't know. Elf. I watched Elf with the kids.
Oh yeah, we watched Elf too.
They made a second one?
Nope. We did watch the animated musical one. That was not great.
Oh. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's on HBO. You could watch it if you want. I would rather just watch the regular Elf movie. That's probably all you need. And then we watched my favorite Christmas Community episode, which is the Glee Christmas episode.
Nice.
Community. Anyway, I also watched Iron Mask with Jackie Chan and Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was not a great movie at all.
I was wondering what that was. You said it says Iron Mask, and I thought maybe it was also a Christmas movie.
No, it's Iron Mask. So it's like Man in the Iron Mask kind of a thing. It was weird because the most off-putting thing. So you know how like when you're watching like a foreign film, the dubbed audio is obviously off from the mouth.
Yeah.
So this movie was in English and it had that.
Oh no.
And it wasn't like a tracking thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like they went in and they dubbed everyone's voices again afterwards bad, like poorly. And so like it seems like their mouths are like moving a lot larger than they should be to talk,
right?
Like that kind of stuff. And I was just like, it was really disorienting.
Yeah, for those who can't see Andrew, he just did the Japanese movie overdub face.
Well, I didn't do the voice face. I just like exaggerated the way that my mouth is moving. I didn't actually like change what I was saying in any way, but that's kind of like how it was the whole time. Because at first I was like, did they do this in like a different language? And then I started like lip reading, and I was like, nope, it's the same.
Well, how about we get into some news? We got a lot.
Yep, let's do it. Go away.
All
I mean,
right.
not go away, but
go away. Goodbye.
Take it away is what I meant to say.
All right. Deadpool 3 is moving forward with new writers Wendy Molyneux and Lizzie Molyneux Loughlin at Disney. They wrote a bunch of Bob's Burgers and The Great North. So reading about them, I'm pretty stoked. I enjoyed the first Deadpool. I haven't seen Deadpool 2.
It's good.
Oh, okay.
You should see it.
I heard it was more of the same, and I enjoyed the first one. I just never got around to it for some reason.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with more of the same at Deadpool.
Right. There's a rumor, and I put it in news, and maybe I shouldn't, but Netflix considering Killer Clowns from Outer Space sequel.
I heard they were doing a remake. Is it a sequel?
Yeah. The rumor that I had going, the article that I had it being a sequel.
Because the rumor I heard was, let's just say Netflix is considering Killer Clowns from Outer Space for some reason.
Yeah,
Who
I
knows
don't know
what it's
why.
gonna be.
That seems like a weird property for them to just be like, yeah, we're doing this.
I mean, it's a cult classic of garbage movie, garbage fun,
Yeah.
fun in the garbage.
The more I look into it, the more it sounds like the killers, the makers of the original are trying to start talks with Netflix to get it going. I don't know that the impetus is from Netflix. But
I don't know. Netflix seems like a company that's just like, yeah, we're gonna milk it until we can't, and then you're fired. Like,
right? Or no. Netflix is we'll give you 3 solid seasons.
well, yeah, I don't know about it. Leaving on cliffhangers, like I don't know. It seems like a rash judgment by Netflix whenever it's like for instance, Glow had a 4th season and that was supposed to be their last season. Like they had like 4 seasons last season, nothing more, and then they cut it off. Like
Yeah, after leaving it in a really weird
in a
story
cliffhanger,
spot.
yeah. Yeah, so it seems like it's not something planned as much as like, man, it's not making as much money as we want. It's off. Like,
Yeah.
next song. Next that's Netflix.
Next flicks.
Next, God.
I'm sorry. The big news of the month really isn't even the long news. This is going to be the shorter of the big news things that we've got. But WB has announced that they're going to put their entire film release slate on HBO Max day of theater release.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie world shit breaks.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody that's not Warner is mad.
Except for consumers.
Right. And I'm here for every single second of it. I'm excited.
Yeah, consumers went, yay, that's really cool. And then everybody that wanted to make money off of Warner Brothers was like, fuck you.
Right. And there is something to be said about the fact that movies that were in development, contracts were signed, and money was supposed to be paid based on the assumption that it was going to be released in theaters. What they're losing out, money that they're losing out on.
It's still going to release in theaters, though.
Well, and that's kind of the problem, right? Is that it should be significantly less money than what they were expecting to make. So you people who have your back end deals that are based off of box office gross are going to be kind of raked over the coals here. Now, my personal feeling on that, and I have to stress it's my personal feeling, is that money's going to figure it out. Eventually they're going to figure out how to make it right with the people that need to be made right. As far as the people who, like the production people and your sort of low paid people that you're generally not thinking about, most of those people are paid up front when the movie was made and are done.
Right. I think you're talking about like residuals of box office, which I feel like at this point HBO is going to have to figure out some sort of residuals from streaming, which will probably be how they figure that one out, or just pay them off, like be like, we'll just give you this much money. How does that sound? Right.
I mean, for Warner's, it makes sense because it's going to be a boost to their HBO Max, which is going to give them steady, revenue throughout the year. So, I mean, it makes a world of sense. These are all the points that I was making, in June when we started talking about how COVID was going to change the theater landscape forever. Right. So,
right.
But that includes Dune, Matrix 4, Suicide Squad, and In the Heights from Lin-Manuel Miranda, and a Sopranos prequel, The Many Saints of Newark. So I'm pretty excited about all of that. Like I said, it's a very pro-consumer move. It's a thing that we don't see that much these days in the media landscape. You don't see a whole lot of pro-consumer moves.
I mean, I do want to say I don't think Warner Brothers did it for consumers. They did it for money, but
right.
But it just happened to work out in our favor as long as you have HBO Max.
Right.
I don't think they're coming. Do they still have? And yeah, I think that's a bigger topic. We'll have to kind of touch on.
We'll do a whole
later.
episode streaming in 2020 part 2.
Yeah, because we also need to talk about Netflix raised their 4K service fee to $18 a month.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Which is I'm pretty sure is the highest streaming like money amount.
Yeah, I might need
And
to
it's
pull
getting-
back on that because I have not seen. I don't watch things in Netflix in 4K.
I watch some things, but I don't think it's enough to where I notice the difference. And I think the only difference is the like $13 amount or 15. Yeah, they even raised like the 1080p one is like 2 streaming devices versus 4, which I don't know if I ever stream 4 at a time. I'm just gonna yeah. You and me talking it out. I'm gonna lower it. 'Cause- God.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, because at
streaming-
first I was like, well, it's $4 a month. Like,
Yeah, I mean, streaming has become so fractured at this point that you're if you're paying for the top tier streaming services, you're looking at $50-$60 a month,
yeah.
which is getting expensive again.
And people would argue like, well, you're getting back into cable numbers, and it's like, yeah, well, I actually pay for exactly what I want to watch versus a bunch of channels that I don't care about.
Right, and that's the big draw. And I think as long as we are seeing, let me put it this way: with the streamers coming out and your big media corporations like combining networks together, it's easier to put together packages of things that you like.
Right.
All right. Moving on, Elliot Page has come out as transgender, and he will continue to be playing the part of Vanya Hargreaves because he's an actor and he can act as a female character now.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
That was
many
that was
props
cool
to him.
learn.
Hey, on a related note, I read today that Eddie Izzard was emphasizing that she wanted she and her pronouns or some such.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So more
That's cool.
people becoming comfortable with who they are and expressing it publicly. All on board for that.
For sure. Me too.
Oscar Isaac is set to star as Solid Snake in Sony's Metal Gear Solid movie.
Don't know how I feel about that, but that's fine.
Why? I'm pretty stoked about it. But then again, I've only seen Oscar Isaac in Star Wars and Ex Machina. Oh, and X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah, I don't know. He just wouldn't be my first choice, but if you ask me who my first choice would be, I don't know. I would have to put thought into it, but
Sebastian Stan.
I don't know. Maybe.
David Hayter.
David Hayter. Yeah, I want David Hayter to do it.
Right.
I want him to voice over it.
No. I tell you what, we'll have Kiefer Sutherland do it, and then David Hayter can dub the voice.
Nah, no, that's okay.
Aw. All right, and our big section of news, Disney Plus released Disney Plus, I guess, released all of their upcoming titles for Disney Plus, and it's a bunch of
lot.
them.
So we're just gonna rocket it out of our mouth holes.
Absolutely. So starting with Disney properties, I don't even think I have all of them, but I combined Disney and Pixar. And what we've got in series, there's a Beauty and the Beast series coming, a Swiss Family Robinson series, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Mighty Ducks Game Changers, which Emilio Estevez is coming back for. Exciting.
Oh wow.
A Turner and Hooch reboot for some reason. Okay. Of Tom Hanks properties that needed a series, I don't think it was Turner and Hooch.
Is it Tom Hanks? Is he coming back?
I don't believe so. I think it's a complete reboot.
Is it the same dog? Are they bringing the same dog back?
Dude, that dog's been dead for like 15 years, I'm sure.
I just wanted you to make someone sad that doesn't know that how long dogs live.
Oh, like when I made you sad that fucking Toto died before World War II?
Oh yeah, that was sad.
Zootopia Plus, a new series, Tiana, Moana, and a Baymax series. And then on the movie side of things for Disney, there's a Hocus Pocus 2 movie coming, Three Men and a Baby, starring Zac Efron, Cheaper by the Dozen reboot, Sister Act with Whoopi Goldberg. So I assume it's either Sister Act 3 or some sort of reboot where she's handing,
It was
the character
Sister
off.
Act 3.
Pinocchio, live action Pinocchio with Robert Zemeckis and Tom Hanks, a live action Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers for some reason.
That's weird.
Peter Pan and Wendy, Jude Law, and I accidentally spelled that Wendy as in like. Disenchanted, which is a sequel to Enchanted, starring Amy Adams.
Oh, nice. I'll rocket through the LucasArts stuff. So series, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi series. We've got Rangers of the New Republic. Is it Ashoka?
Yep.
Ashoka?
Ashoka.
I never watched that series. So, Andor, Star Wars, The Bad Batch, Star Wars Visions, Lando, The Acolyte, A Droid Story, and Willow. And then for movies, you've got Rogue Squadron.
Oh yeah, that's directed by Patty Jenkins.
Okay. Indiana Jones movie directed by James Mangold. Star Wars movie directed by Taika Waititi, and Children of Blood and Bone.
Yeah, I don't know what that last one is at all, but
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. The reveal trailer for the Rogue Squadron movie was pretty great. You had Patty Jenkins, who is the woman who directed the 2 Wonder Woman movies.
Yeah,
and so
I'm looking forward to all the. Give me all the Star Wars stuff that's not the Skywalker saga, please.
I almost made a joke, and I can't even explain what the joke was almost going to be. It sucks.
Well, I'll rock it through the series for Marvel, and then if you want to do the movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
So for Marvel, we've got Secret Invasion with Nick Fury, Ironheart with Riri Williams, Armor Wars. Sorry, I almost said Armory, which is a Coheed and Cambria thing. Armor Wars with James Rhodes, Loki, WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which we've known about those 3 for a while. The What If series, Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, She-Hulk, Mark Ruff.
Oh yeah, Mark Ruffalo. So She-Hulk, Mark Ruffalo is going to be in there as the Hulk. Tim Roth is going to be in there as Abomination, and She-Hulk is played by Tatiana Maslany.
Oh, they're bringing Tim Roth back as Abomination? That's weird.
I know, right?
So we got Moon Knight, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, and I Am Groot shorts.
It's
series. He's not wearing shorts. It's
yeah.
just short films. Or just series.
Much like today's series. And then as far as Marvel movies, there's a Blade movie coming. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The Eternals movie. Most of these have been announced already, but Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Thor: Love and Thunder, Black Panther 2, which they have confirmed they are not recasting T'Challa. I think if they try to do that, it would be the worst thing that has ever happened in Marvel movies.
My wife and I are hoping that they bring Killmonger back, like that he didn't actually die at the end.
Yeah.
Or his sister.
Yeah. I would think that their plan is for his sister, but
yeah,
I guess we'll find out. Captain Marvel 2 and then Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 3, obviously.
Now, did they say all of these are coming to the streaming service?
They are all coming to the streaming service, but they have not taken a position one way or the other if it's going to be the same day as theaters.
I did watch Mulan.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
We thought it was the best live action movie that they've come out with yet, but that we would have been upset if we paid an extra $30 for it.
All right. I'll check it out then. Awesome.
But definitely as part of the regular streaming service, it's worth it.
All right. Well, you want to get into the topic at hand?
Yes. Today, this time we're talking about Over the Garden Wall, which was a 2015 TV show from Cartoon Network. And the synopsis for it is a story featuring 2 half-brothers, Wirt and Gregory, who have become lost in a mysterious wood called the Unknown and attempt to find their way home with the help of a woodsman and Beatrice the Bluebird. The atmosphere in the Unknown is generally menacing, although there are many moments of playful whimsy.
Which we will get into eventually.
Yep. So I was kind of wrong. What I've read is it's 2014, 2015, somewhere around there. There have been other cartoons that have been released in this series that are not related to what we watched. Yeah. So this is also like a comic book, but yeah, Patrick McHale worked on the marvelous misadventures of Flapjack, as well as co-developed Adventure Time, and he is, I believe, he's the creator of this, right?
Yeah, he is the creator, the art director, or not the art director, the story and whatever. He did the story for
Developed the pilot, yeah.
Yes. And he originally kind of had the idea in 2004, but it took a good 10 years to get it produced and for Cartoon Network to be like, hey, you got something, in your back pocket?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I got this weird ass thing.
and this is a mini series, so it's a 10, 15-minute episode, so it's about 2.5 hours. So we decided to, or I thought we could do it because it'd be like, hey, it's the same amount of time as watching a movie for the most part. So art is by Nick Cross. Animation is that Robert?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Robert Alvarez. I'm gonna butcher this name. Larry Likelitter, Eddie Hutchins, and Ken Bruce, and supervision by Nate Cash. So like I said, Patrick McHale, story and writer, along with Amelia Lavari and Tom Herpich.
Mm-hmm.
Starring Elijah Wood as Wirt, Colin Dean as Gregory, and Melanie Lansky as Beatrice. Supporting roids.
Supporting roids.
Supported roles: Christopher Lloyd as the woodsman, John Cleese and Quincy Endicott as Adelaide.
That would be John Cleese as Quincy Endicott and Adelaide.
Okay. And then Tim Curry as Anti-Wisp. Oh, that was Tim Curry. That was cool.
Right, I didn't know that. That's why I put it in there.
That's awesome. You want to go through the awards for me?
Sure, man. It won the best TV animation. Patrick McHale at the Reuben Awards. I don't know what that is, but it won it. The Primetime Creative Arts Emmys won Outstanding Animated Program and Outstanding Individual Achievement in Animation for Nick Cross. And at the Ottawa International Animation Festival, it got Best Animated Feature. So far on Rotten Tomatoes, it's sitting at 92% critic score and 100% audience score. And it makes me want to go and rate it on Rotten Tomatoes because I don't know that I would call it great.
Okay. Well, we'll get into the spoiler free. I did want to mention the music is very important for this as well. And mention who did the music. I'm gonna look that up real quick.
Oh yeah. There was a lot of music in it, and I don't know why I didn't realize till like halfway through it that it was a musical series.
The music was done by the Blasting Company, is the name of the band, and it's a band that did that. And a very, very good music. Very sad that I missed out on there was a Mondo vinyl that came out in 2015 for it, and it was like $40, and now anywhere you look for it, it's like $250 for the vinyl.
Oof.
And I'm like, nope, don't like it that much. I'll just listen to it on my phone.
Right.
Guy, what'd you think? Spoiler free.
Spoiler free. It's a weird cartoon. It's I guess coming from the person who made Adventure Time and Flapjack, that's not unexpected, right? But it's a little bit, to me, it was a little bit darker tone than like Adventure Time is. So the absurdity of it made it darker. I
don't know. There's some really dark Adventure Time episodes.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But I mean, overall, I didn't enjoy it until about the 8th episode. No, it was the 9th episode. There's a specific episode that sort of grounded in reality for me, I guess, which helped me enjoy it more. So overall, we'll talk about that in
the spoiler section.
What's that?
I said we'll talk about that in how it grounds it in the spoiler section.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, overall, it was an interesting adventure. I think you had mentioned. I said we'd get back to this. I found myself within the first 5 minutes of the first episode, like being like, "Is this over yet?" Though. So even though
you're right at the beginning now.
Yeah. So even though they're only 10-minute episodes, I did find myself like wanting to reach for my phone a lot. Which isn't respectful to the art at all.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely, I would say there's a couple moments in the show that don't grasp me either, but I think it's just, I would say, I guess my spoiler-free review, it's a very well-crafted story, and very well-crafted animation, along with the music is just a great music. Yeah, I guess we'll get into, well, I guess should you watch it? I would say definitely yes. if you like Cartoon Network shows, if you liked Flapjack or Adventure Time, I don't know why I blinked on that. I would definitely suggest. And if you like musical, like shows with music in it, like Adventure Time has a lot of music. I haven't really watched a lot of Flapjack, but I remember there being music in that. So if you just kind of like goofy songs and possibly like the cutest asshole kid, like he's just Gregory is just such like a little shit.
Yeah, he is.
Like the part in the 9th episode, or like the thing that always makes me laugh is the part in the 9th episode where they're about to go into that party and he goes, "Let's get her," and then Gregory's like, "Yeah, let's get her," and like puts his like hands together and he's like, "No, not like that." like puts his fist in his hand like he's gonna beat her up.
Oh man, yeah. There were a lot of good jokes. I found myself, like chuckling even as I wasn't enjoying it.
Yeah.
So I would recommend watching it, but if you're gonna watch it, set aside time to watch all of it, and don't treat it like a movie experience where you aren't trying to be distracted by other things.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the first time I watched it, it was on like a Saturday, and my wife and I were like, it's 10 episodes, 15 minutes. We're just going to fire through it all like in one sitting. And I think that's just binging it in 2.5 hours is probably the best way to watch it.
Yeah, for sure. I would agree with that. I watched it in like 4 sessions, and it wasn't, after the second session, I wasn't excited to come back to it to finish it.
Yeah, but you forced yourself because,
we're doing a show.
That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. And you were all nice. You're like, I mean, well, we could do something else if you want. No, we're gonna do it. And I'm gonna trash it. It'd be great.
You made me watch Following. So this is payback. All right, so we'll get into the spoiler zone. First thing in the spoiler, which I guess we don't have the wow alert or anything. We'll need to come up with one of those. We say that joke on almost every episode.
I'm just gonna edit in you going wow wow
wow
wow.
wow.
Just copy paste it a bunch.
Spoiler boing. Spoiler zone.
Spoiler zone.
So the show is just a giant allegory for death. In different, there's a lot of like really cool breakdowns, which we're not going to get into just because I guess we're not too far into the show, but I'll get through some of the breakdowns. But there are some really cool, like if you're interested in it, like breakdowns of the meaning behind, like historical meanings behind a lot of the stuff of the show, like, or the allegories about death of the show. Like each episode basically has at least one in it. And a lot of the songs, like the Black Train is an allegory for like the train that's going to take you to the afterlife, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And each episode is supposed to be them sinking further and further in the river that they've fallen into. So I do want to just real quick, or like in the beginning of the spoilers, have Guy talk about his breakthrough moment in the 9th episode of why the show kind of came around at least a little bit for him.
Sure. I mean, okay, so up until the 9th episode, the show drops you off, and you're following these two characters who are lost in the woods. You don't know anything about these characters. There's just some dopey looking dwarf dude in a hat, well, what looks like a gnome hat, and then some weird ass person with like a teapot? And
he's got a tea kettle.
Yeah, an upside down tea kettle and a frog.
And don't forget, he's spewing candy from his pants, which is the funniest thing.
Right, he just randomly spews candy.
Yeah,
and so you're following them through this adventure through the woods where they're trying to get back home, and all this weird shit happens to these weird kids that are, like, are they elves? Are they gnomes? Are they, are they normal children? Are they hobbits? Who knows? Who knows what the fuck they are? And then in the 9th episode, you find out that the reason they're dressed weird is because it was Halloween when they disappeared. and they got lost. So they're just normal ass kids going through all this weird shit.
Yep. And Gregory was an elephant. That's what the teapot was.
Right. So the upside down tea kettle was like the elephant trunk.
Yep. And then Wirt was something. He just made his own Halloween costume, and it's
right. It seems to be like part wizard, part lawn gnome. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a Santa hat that he cut the little like fringe off of, and then a Civil War like blue coat.
Oh yeah.
Just around his shoulders.
The synopsis says it's made from a marching band cloak.
Oh, is that? Nah, wow. All right, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't either, but whatever.
He actually like pulls out like a Civil War cap, like from like with the coat. So.
Oh well, I guess that makes. I don't know.
Anyway,
Wikipedia
so,
is super wrong then.
Yeah, probably. So it just grounded you that it was real kids in a real situation.
Right, not just some random fantasy kids who have magical candy powers. Like, I guess that was the thing, is it seemed like there was more to them. Like maybe they had powers, maybe, maybe their home is some weird place, like whatever. But when it came to the fact that, oh no, they're just normal like humans, thrust into this fantastical world, I started having empathy for them.
I guess I guess that maybe that's the difference is I never really thought that they were anything more than kids. And I just thought the little kid I thought Gregory was just a weird kid with candy in his pants for whatever reason.
Which you were right.
And yeah, I mean, he had candy in his pants because of Halloween, which, yeah. And I don't know why Wirt was dressed that way, but I from the beginning, for me, it felt like two kids in a magical forest, basically. Especially in the first episode when the turtle comes out of the dog's mouth and turns him from like a demon dog to a regular dog.
Yeah, well, and I guess for me from the beginning, they just seemed like maybe they were like the entire world was a fantasy world.
Right.
And so that maybe they were some sort of fantasy characters. I don't know.
I mean, like I can see why someone would think that just because they don't explain anything. Like 100%, you're right. It's just two random small people in a forest at the very beginning of the show, and they don't really say, oh, they're brothers or oh, they're children that are drowning. Like, yeah, I mean, like the show is pretty great just for me because the music is one thing. Like potatoes and molasses get stuck in my head all the time,
right?
And get stuck in my wife's head, and she's like, it's just so gross. And the part that I was shocked at because I was listening to the soundtrack by itself, and there's the part towards the end when Gregory goes off to basically try to save Wirt and gets like is a part of like the tree. I can't remember what the name of the tree is, but the tree that is made out of lost children's souls.
Yeah, from the beast. Yeah,
and in the background you hear like a sad reprise of Potatoes and Molasses.
Oh.
It's I just thought it was a sad reprise of Potatoes and Molasses, but it's actually a sad reprise of that song in Latin. Like,
oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and that was weird, but just like it's such a weirdly, amazingly crafted show. Like it shows them sinking further, like the more they sink further in the river, the more desperate everything gets by the end of the show. That's when the winter comes in. That's when the darkness comes in. The further they get down, the colder it is. Another thing is that the point Gregory gets two pieces of, I can't remember what they're called, but basically 2 tuppence for the ferryman, and that's supposed to be like the ferryman of the River Styx,
right?
And so him throwing it away meant that they didn't have to pay for it, which meant that they were not actually going to get ferried over. There's just, I don't know, there's a lot of cool stuff, and if you haven't seen the show, there's so much that I don't know if we can really talk about it without me making an entire list of like stuff. And I did make a little list actually.
All right.
Let me pull it up real quick.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, let me talk about what's her name? Auntie Whispers.
Yep, Auntie Whispers.
Dude, I loved Auntie Whispers as a character. I don't know what it was about her character, and how like she was portrayed as evil throughout the episode until she wasn't, and she turned out to just be this like sweet old lady. Yeah. I thought it was really cool, and I liked the way that it sort of affected the episode.
It's because she walks in and she's immediately like, "There's no children here, right? I don't want their bones to get," or like, because then their bones would be eaten, and I'm hungry. Like, and it's like, okay, well, she's gonna eat the kids, like, and she's like this weird, huge, like, lady with like a like Miyazaki mouth, like, you know,
right.
Miyazaki's the
he's the Totoro guy.
Studio Ghibli. Okay, cool. I got that right.
You totally did.
Spitballing. I wanted to talk about episode 8. It's like the cloud city in the clouds, basically, where they're dreaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so the music in that's great. It's like an homage to the Wizard of Oz, homage to Trip to the Moon, just old school animation. Like there's just, I don't know. I really did like this show a lot. Addlewood Tree is what it's called.
Okay.
So like the main story is just like about the Addlewood trees, which are like, if you listen to, like, if you care to, you pull up the soundtracks on like iTunes and everything. So if you like want to listen to the soundtrack, the Beast song that he sings, where it's like la 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 la, like every time you hear the Beast in the forest.
Yeah.
His whole song explains what the Addlewood trees are.
What, does it really?
Yeah, like his whole song is just like, you know, Addlewood trees grind up for oil for like the lost children's souls. Like it's like, it basically explains all of it.
Oh wow, okay.
I liked plot filling elements that they did that you never asked for.
Like what?
Like Gregory's got the rock with him the whole time, and he keeps saying rock facts.
Oh yeah.
And then he explains where he got the rock and that it's stolen, and the rock facts aren't real because it's a stolen rock.
Hey, yeah, I thought that was real clever.
And then just like everything, it's like wrapped up nicely. I think is like I didn't have any questions at the end of it. I thought it was done as something that was like, I only watched it because like a friend on Facebook was like, "This is a good show. You should watch it if you like Halloween spooky stuff, but also like kids stuff." And I was like, "Cool. I like some spooky stuff, and I like cartoons."
The rock facts were, if you soak a raisin in grape juice, it turns into a grape.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know that's wrong.
I don't know either. I don't think it would. I don't think it would turn back into a grape, but you don't know because none of us have tried.
And then dinosaurs had big ears, but everybody forgot this because dinosaur ears don't have bones.
Yeah, we just don't know. That would be cartilage.
And that's a rock fact.
Yep.
And then Greg stole this rock from Old Lady Daniel's yard.
Yep. So I liked like the closing those up. Everything is there. I watched like, just because we were doing the show, and I didn't want to like sit there and like just write down everything that this lady did. So I would definitely go look up, just like, it's like one of those videos. It's like 100 things you missed from Over the Garden Wall in like 7 minutes or whatever. And like, it literally, everything is explained.
Oh yeah, I'll check that out. That sounds amazing.
The show explains everything that happens in the show in different episodes. So like This Old Cat, the game that Gregory plays with the animals at the school.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
That is from a character that says it in passing in episode 9 when they're entering the house.
Huh.
He's talking about baseball, and he mentions a baseball game version called This Old Cat as Gregory's passing him into the house.
Weird.
So like, So like everything is like it was really cool to, and you know the stuff that I picked up on that I already talked about, like the ferryman and all that, and all the allegories in it are in those videos too. But I was more interested in like the like that, like the cool weird stuff where it's like, oh, this is where Gregory got it, just in passing, and this is where he got the rock, and this is like where the candy comes from, you know.
Right. Yeah, it's funny because especially given that the show is about what's happening to them while they're drowning or whatever. The fact that a lot of the stuff that comes in their coma, psychosis, whatever you want to call it, is seeded with little things that you know that pass by, you know,
Right.
in the same way that real dreams are, and I think that's incredibly clever to know that they did that.
And really cool. Yeah, like and like the dog from the first episode, and the windmill, or the mill from the first episode, those are that's Beatrice's family house, and that's Beatrice's dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's like all this weird like cool stuff that you would probably have to watch it a bunch of times to figure out. And I would say that you do kind of watch it with a different perspective. Again, I doubt you will.
I might.
But yeah, there's like once you know stuff, or once you know to listen for things, or just like there's like audible cues, like a lot of shows do. I don't know. Like it's just it was a treat to watch. I will say, like the first 3 episodes though, like watching it again, I was kind of bored. Like watching it the second time, but after that, that potatoes and molasses song, man, just gets stuck in my head like every day. But yeah, do you have anything else for spoilers?
Not really. I would say, if we're going into final thoughts, that overall I found watching it worthwhile, even though I wasn't enthused. Like I said, I took a break of probably about a week and a half between the first half of the series and the second half, and was reluctant to go back to it, but ultimately I think it paid off, and I might actually watch it again.
Yeah, I would say that it's definitely worth a rewatch after like you kind of know everything or know what's gonna happen, and even like the stuff like the opening credits scene of Over the Garden Wall, where it's got like the archway,
yeah,
like all the different episode like stuff that you see are in little vignettes, like circles around it. Also,
well, that's clever.
So, but yeah, I would definitely. I guess my final thoughts is I obviously liked the show. I thought it was really, really good. Really like just made well, and I think like the old style music also gets me. So it knew who it was after, and it was after me.
Awesome.
But yeah, we'll go into what are we watching, or what are we going to talk about next time, guys?
Well, first off, if you want to watch this show that we've been talking about, it's on HBO Max. I think you can purchase it digitally too.
It's also on Hulu. That's where I watched it.
Oh yeah, there you go. So
HBO Max, Hulu, and purchase.
Yeah. Speaking of HBO Max, next time we are going to talk about Wonder Woman 1984. I keep wanting to call it Wonder Woman 1988 for some reason, but that's not
I don't know.
accurate.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to that one. I'm super stoked with the way that DC has been handling Wonder Woman lately. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited that I don't have to leave my house on Christmas Day.
Right, you get a choice.
That'll be great. I don't have to, contribute to people being forced to work on Christmas.
Yeah,
I always thought that was kind of shitty.
Yeah, I know several families that their Christmas tradition is to go to a movie.
Yep. There were always movies that came out, and my dad was like, nope, we're not supporting like that. The movie industry on Christmas Day. We're not going to support people working, because my dad always thought people should get it off.
Yeah, I can't say your dad's wrong by any means.
Yeah. Well, good.
Yeah.
And now I'm not wrong either.
Go Andrew's dad.
Yeah. So everybody go have some potatoes and molasses and
remember, you can do anything if you set your mind to it. That's what the old people say.
yep, rock facts. So it's a rock fact. Bye.
Bye-bye.